So one of the biggest reasons why I see relationships begin to fail is that couples stop prioritizing their relationship. And so I like to practice, and I tell my couples to practice the rule of 3 in marriage. So the way that the rule of 3 in marriage works is that every 3 days you reconnect in some small way. So there are lots of ways to do this, whether it's play a card game together, go play tennis, ask each other open-ended questions, sit every morning, right? Have a cup of coffee together, catch up, ask how the other person's day is going. Reconnect with your partner at least every 3 days emotionally. The other thing you can do in those 3 days is connect in another area of intimacy. So maybe for your relationship, spiritual intimacy is important. Maybe you read scripture together. Maybe you pray together. Do that every 3 days. Maybe in your relationship, physical intimacy is more important. And there are lots of different types of physical intimacy besides sex. So every 3 days, engage in some form of physical intimacy. Every 3 weeks, you want to spend at least 3 hours together. So on the 3-day intimacy, right, that can just be 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be anything difficult. But every 3 weeks, make intentional time for your partner to prioritize your relationship. Make that into a date night or a date day. Or if you can't afford to go on a date, put your kids to bed early. Put them in front of their iPad and do something together. Go in your backyard. Go in your garage. I don't care where you do it. But if you prioritize your relationship, you will get creative and you will be able to do that. So on those 3 hours, again, like make it some type of intimacy in your relationship. And remember, be creative. Don't get super focused on one type. Another thing that I find that is really important is I see couples that disagree on the types of recreational intimacy or date night. So this just happened with a couple that I talked to the other day. One of them wanted to like go see plays and have more experience-based dates. And the other one wanted to have more, drinking, going out to nightclubs, having those types of dates. And so they just were at a stalemate and they didn't go out at all. Remember that compromise is key and take turns. So what my husband and I do is that we take that every 3-week date where we connect, we take turns. So this month it's my turn. Next month it's his turn. And when it's your turn, you have to get the babysitter, you have to make the plan. And it's kind of fun because it becomes a surprise for the other person. Like I never really know what I'm gonna get. And then every 3 months, ideally take a weekend away. Figure out how, like, save up your credit card points. I don't know what you have to do, right? Call in your favors, farm the kids out to different relatives, but try if you can every 3 months to at least take one night for yourselves. Because what happens when we try to do that at home is that we start thinking about, oh, we should clean this, or we should do that, or we should really pay the bills, or we should really get the car washed. But if you can just take a night to get away together, you can focus on each other and it will be a mini vacation, and that will really improve your intimacy. And then every 3 years, right, because it's the rule of 3 in marriage, every 3 years, do whatever you can to take like 4 or 5 days alone. Because think about your honeymoon. Think about how happy and connected and close and sexual and intimate you were able to be on your honeymoon. Then daily life gets in the way. Outside stress gets in the way of our relationship. Kids definitely get in the way of our relationship, and we lose that connection with our partner. So the rule of 3 in marriage is a very, I would say, easy and almost surefire way to protect your relationship from getting distant and disconnected in the form of intimacy, because you are making intimacy a priority. Thank you for being here. Again, I'm Amanda Twiggs-Johns. I talk about all things marriage and relationships. I help couples rapidly revive their intimacy and their relationships, and follow me for more relationship tips.